Great. All right, so we'll go to the agenda real quick. Thank you. So today we have Dana Brown from Family. She's a support specialist at Child Care Network. She'll be our first presenter, and after Dana will, after she speaks, we'll open it up for questions, and then we'll hear from Sharon from Washtenaw Housing Alliance. And after that, we'll continue with questions, and then at the end, I'll give the funding update for Barrier Busters, and then we'll end. Okay, so if you are ready, we can go ahead. Marty, if you want to hand over the controls and give Dana Brown access to sharing her screen.
You should have.
You have it?
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay.
All right, Dana, I will let you take over. And as questions come up, we'll go ahead and put them in the chat, and we will address them when Dana's done speaking. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for having me. Again, my name is Dana Brown. I'm a family support specialist with Child Care Network at the Washtenaw County office. Today, I'm going to go over briefly about a few of our programs. However, the main piece will be the family support program, which is my department. Okay. So Child Care Network was established back in 1971 to promote the success of children, families, and our community through quality child education, advocacy, and support. Our main goals are to help families find childcare, to help families pay for childcare, and to help child care professionals provide quality childcare for their program. Our main office is located at 3941 Research Park Drive, Ann Arbor, Michigan, Suite C. We share a office or a building with the Disability Network. Okay, so initially, when Child Care Network was first founded, it was founded as the Southeast Resource Center back in 1971. The main focus back then was to help child care programs to access resources. With partnership through the state of Michigan, Child Care Network basically help providers with ongoing education and training to better their programs, and also to help provide them with resources through the Lennon Library that could help their program. And also, besides professional development through trainings, our quality improvement specialists also do on-site consultation for programs, and they basically go in and just let the provider know like what needs to be updated or what they could do basically to improve their program. So that's how initially it started off. But then in 1980, the county basically figured out that there's a high need for childcare. I mean, childcare is very expensive. And how can these families pay for childcare if they're looking for work? So who's going to watch the child while they're going to seek employment? And if they have a job, who's going to watch the children while they're at work? Basically, how can they keep their job if they don't have quality childcare for their child to go to while they're trying to obtain employment or go to school, or things of that nature? So the Family Support Program was established to help families that are either experiencing low income wages, or families that are high need families to access high quality childcare learning programs through our childcare scholarships. And the goal is to help children to become ready for kindergarten ready, and also to help the families to obtain and maintain employment, attend college, or any type of job training program. And at the end of our scholarship, we hope that the family will obtain a financial self-sufficiency. So as of recent, back in 2019, our office and our program has been growing. So now we offer the community programs, and it's basically our department that helps with additional programs that move forward the mission of Child Care Network to include the Family Friend in Need program, the Early Childhood Talent Pipeline, the Child Care Development Associate program and online training, and it also spearheads the agency fundraising efforts. So basically with the community programs, some providers either get referred or they find out that there's grants that the state of Michigan may offer. And that department basically helps that program either to get basically they help them to spearhead the application to try to get approved for grants so they can improve their, whether it's an in-home daycare or a center-based program. Sometimes the state of Michigan offer funding that can help better improve that program. Okay. What am I doing? I'm sorry. Okay. And you guys are seeing my slides, right? Okay. So as far as the family support program, that's my department. Our purpose is to ensure that children of high need families have access to quality child care programming. One of the goals is to help children achieve kindergarten readiness so they can build a solid foundation for future success. And then also to reduce the financial burden of high need families so that parents are able to maintain stable employment, housing, participation in college, trade school, or job training programs, leading to a greater self-sufficiency. So one of the things that we notice, because we can help families up to 300% of the federal poverty guideline. And one of the things that we notice, some families that are considered low income or don't have high wages, they might make too much for DHS, who also offers child development and care program, but they still don't make enough to cover the weekly tuition for their children. Some of the programs nowadays are anywhere in between $250 a week up to $500 per week. So how can a family that's making like $15 an hour afford rent, let alone childcare for their child if tuition costs as much as their paycheck? So that's where we're able to come in. We're either able to come in if the family does receive assistance through DHS, but they still have a copay that they're unable to afford, or we can help, again, up to the 300% of the federal poverty guideline. If they, depend on the circumstances, every family has their own circumstances, and we judge every case by case. But depending on the need of the family, we may be eligible to help that family to basically cover some child care expenses, or at least a portion of it, while they are eligible for our program. Okay, so child care scholarship is based on individual need, and it could last up to 12 months in length. We are a grant funded program, so our intentions is not to be ongoing, whereas DHS have more funding than us. We are a grant program, and we do our goal is to help families up to 12 months or less, depending on the cost of care. If we're paying more child care upfront, then that means that and the parent is not able to receive help from DHS also, or the parent is not able to afford a copay at that time, you can expect for that time frame to be less if we're paying more upfront. But we try to stay with the family as long as they need us. If we could stretch those hours to 12 months, we will try to do whatever we can to help that family at least get on their feet and to help them to have financial stability. And also, one of our things that we do at the family support program is we provide individual services, which includes case management and referrals to community resources such as Barrier Busters. We help with that. So. Okay, so how it work is, and I wish I had our website up, but I will put it in the chat box. But you will go to www.childcarenetwork.org to complete our intake process for the family support program. So basically, that is just a wait list. That's to let us know how to contact you and just to let us know a little bit about your situation. That's not the actual application, but it's just to let us know that you are interested in our program. So that's where you would go first. And the intake specialist will vet it out to see if your information supports us calling you regarding our application process, because we do have certain counties that are eligible for our funding, such as Washtenaw County. So we do have to make sure that your address and everything fits our criteria, and also your wages, like it's self-reporting at this time, but we basically just want to know if you're close to the information that we need as far as applying for our program. So if you are, once the intake specialist review all your information and she contacts you to discuss why you're applying for our program, if she sees that you're eligible for our application, she will email you a paper application, or she will or she will mail out the application to the address that you're requesting. And she will also let you know who your assigned caseworker will be at that time. And so once you submit all your documentation, because that's also a barrier in making sure that we get all documentation in timely manner to help families. Once you complete the application and we see that you are eligible for our program, then we will contact you to go over what we can assist you with. Our program is based on funding. So in the past, we have had families that were eligible, but at the time that they need our help, we didn't have funding. That's not the case nowadays. We have plenty of funding, so please send your people over to us because we do have funding. But again, it's based on grants. Y'all know how that goes. So first come, first serve. But if you're eligible, we'll go over what we can assist you with. And then we'll also go over any ongoing case management during that 12-month period. And then after either if you reach the limit that we can use per family in tuition fees, or if your 12 months is up, or if anything changes in your family where you initially applied for us, if things have changed, then that's when we close out services. Okay, so I'm going to discuss why high quality childcare matters. And I'm going to share a couple of research points that we've obtained. Children attending high quality programs usually demonstrate greater literacy skills. They're less likely to enter special education courses or be held back in elementary school, or they demonstrate greater school commitment at the age of 14, and they are more likely to graduate high school. So basically, the sooner you introduce your child, or a child is introduced to early learning, the greater their success rate is, basically. Former preschool students were 4 times more likely to earn a college degree in adulthood. There is a clear relationship between poverty and low educational attainment. And early education is a protective factor against criminal activity, arrests, and subsequent jail/prison sentences. So again, if we stress early education early on before they even start kindergarten, our hope is that that child will, basically grow into adulthood. We're completing both high school and or college degrees, and we hope that our scholarship will help to lessen generational poverty, basically. So the better the education is, the less poverty, basically. This is what we're hoping for. In Washtenaw County, 1 in 3 families are in poverty or simply do not earn enough to survive. And that's according to ALICE, which stands for Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed. And also in Washtenaw County, approximately 1 in 2 preschool age children attend an educational program. Approximately 1 in 2 third grade graders read at a proficient level. Approximately 9 of 10 adults have a high school diploma or GED. And approximately 21% adults have at least a bachelor's degree. So basically, childcare matters because the average rate right now for infant care is $17,100. That's what the yearly rate usually is. Or for toddler care is $16,588. So just imagine your paycheck is going that much towards childcare fees. It's like, and if you have more than one, oh my goodness. Okay. It's very expensive. So 102% of gross annual income for a single parent earning $15.90 an hour, or $33,072 with 2 children. I mean, how can they survive, basically? So the impact of the Family Support Scholarship is, 1, to benefit the children. The benefit of the child would be providing access to quality early childhood education for high needs children, increase childcare kindergarten readiness, increase success in school and life, and increase graduation rates. As far as benefits for parents, is for them to maintain or advance employment, attend job training activities, or complete their college education. And it also, our benefits are the benefit from our program also helps families to improve stability and self-sufficiency. Providers benefit from our program because it provides the actual cost of tuition, thus improving sustainability and program quality. It improves ability to contribute to local economy, which includes pay taxes, hire employees, and purchase locally. And it also helps the provider to support local businesses in Washtenaw County. And the benefits from the community is early investments make a profound difference for Washtenaw County community citizens. It increases in educational attainment, stronger or more prepared workforce, or reductions in delinquency and crime. So I'm just going to share some of our success stories that we've had throughout the years. And this one is from Jensen's story. Ooh, nope, nope, no, don't do that. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. Alrighty. So, oh no, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. So Georgia and Pete Jensen reached out to our agency back in September of 2022. Um, One of the issues or several issues that this family had was that they were basically living paycheck to paycheck, and COVID basically made things much harder for them. So they usually lift off tax their refunds that they receive from taxes. However, that was late until they were late getting their taxes back. And they also had some other hardships that they did not prepare for. So they end up reaching out to us because things was very financially hard on them, and they needed to get their child into a safe and secure early childhood program. And also, Georgia shared that her husband Pete had to switch jobs and had new hours, which were unreliable, and that essentially made him become unemployed. So they took a huge financial hit during that time, and they asked for assistance for us to try to get them through that issue. I keep doing that. Okay, so Georgia and Pete were awarded a child care scholarship through the Family Support Program. One of the testimonies that Georgia shared was that um, basically her daughter, Star, um, came home happy, was re- came home happy to discuss what she learned for the day, to talk about her friends at school. Georgia noticed a difference in her child being able to recognize colors and numbers. And basically, her daughter Star would come home and bring her art pictures and discuss different projects. And basically, Georgia saw a huge difference in Star when she started school. And then also, one of the testimonies that she shared is that she was able to find a very flexible job, and although they still had some income trouble, that it was still a start for them to overcome their financial barriers. Another story is Susan's story. Oh, see, they just, okay, I'm sorry. It was doing good earlier. Okay, leave it like that. Okay, so Susan story of Susan Winch. She is a single parent to two beautiful children. At the time she applied for our program, she was struggling to make ends meet as a single parent, and also her child support. She was missing 6 months of child support from their father, so things was very heavy on her, and she was going through a difficult financial hardship and couldn't afford quality child care for her children. But because of Child Care Network and our family support program, Susan was able to receive a scholarship, and that helped um, Susan basically get out of debt with being awarded a tuition scholarship that helped her a lot of her stress, and helped her to pay her bills and afford childcare to them. So this is a few of our partners that help fund Child Care Network and our family support program. I would like to thank them, especially if they are here. Thank you very much. And And thank you. As I stated before, I can put in the chat. Let me stop sharing. We're at childcarenetwork.org, and our phone number is 734-975-1840. Oh goodness. Okay, again, I could put that in chat. And are there any questions?
I have a couple quick questions.
Okay.
The first one it was helpful to learn about the interest form. Do you have a preference for people to complete that versus calling you directly?
It depends on the circumstances. I know I didn't mention it, but we do have within the family support program, we do have a part where our funding is only for homeless families, where we work with caseworkers with, again, I know that some are in here. So that's a different process. I'm just speaking on our general wait list of how you can contact us. But for those that are experiencing homelessness, they can contact us directly. And like there's a different process. Basically, we don't want to, be a barrier to them. We don't want to be a barrier to anyone, but we
Yeah.
know when you are going through something like that, it's different. So you could call it either way, but yes,
Okay.
one of the things is going to our website and filling out that intake form.
And that's for people seeking both getting to get help finding childcare and also help funding childcare, right?
If you're just seeking childcare, you could call us. But if you
Okay.
actually want to receive help with paying for it,
Okay.
yes, that is the first start, because then that puts you on our list, and we contact families that way, and then we go through the whole application process.
Awesome, thank you. And then my final question is, so I've heard that sometimes DHS will require you to have a job or proof of schooling before they help with child care assistance. And then I feel like I've heard that they sometimes help fund it if you're participating in job seeking services.
Yes.
What is the accurate one? And then do you help people fund childcare before they find employment?
Okay, so as far as DHS, I know that they have different criteria than us. There's a little bit more stricter, although we do heavy encourage families to apply for that program, because that also helps with us to stretch out the dollars. But they have, I know as far as educational, I believe oh goodness, I believe they can only help up to bachelor's level or undergraduate school.
Okay.
Now, as far as if you're a part of their Michigan Works program, they have a different criteria where they could assist families there too. But as far as us go, we do have emergency seeking employment program, which is a short-term scholarship. It's basically month to month, but within that short period of time, depending on the need of the family and how much time. Usually we check in like every 30 days up
Yeah.
into if you don't have appointment, then yes, we have to stop services, because our goal is for you to look for a job while we're assisting. But we can help families like up to 2 days a week for childcare. So we expect for at that time for you to be looking for employment or getting ready to go to school. Now, after your short-term scholarship for emergency seeking funds, we do ask, if you're not receiving other DHS benefits, we do ask for you to send us proof of employment, proof of job training, enrollment, and then we go on from there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Dana, in our
Yes.
chat, we have Emily who's asking, how many clients do you serve a year, and should clients try the SER first?
Emily, you're throwing me for a loop. Oh goodness, I don't have that number. I know we serve hundreds of folks. We hit way over our target this past year. I can't even give you the number of who we served. I'm sorry. And as far as you can apply for us even without DHS. So you don't have to necessarily, you can apply for the SER program depending on your circumstances of why you need DHS assistance. But we do require a part of the application that you show proof that you applied, but we could still put you on a scholarship while we're waiting to see for approval. So that's not a hindrance. It's basically to help the families to stretch out our dollars, because again, we only working with a small amount. So if we're paying a whole bunch, $500 per week for care, and there's no one else to help pay that, you're not going to get 12 months worth of assistance from us. So that with DHS and us like that helps relieve the stress off of families. So that's why we encourage families to apply for the Child Development and Care Program. And also because their funded lasts longer than us. So even if we do hit the mark of 12 months and we can no longer assist them, DHS might still be around with that family, and that still might be less of a burden for them. So that's why we encourage that. I'm sorry, Emily.
Thank you. Any other questions? Well, I know that you can certainly reach out, checking out the website. Dana has put it in the chat, and also the phone number. Is this your direct line, or is this just?
No, that's our main number. Yes.
Okay. So also probably another place for to find answers.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Dana. That was great. Good information. So now on our agenda, we have Sharon. Sharon, I see that you have popped in now. There you are. Hi, welcome. So are you prepared with your slides right now to share your screen?
I'm supposed to share I sent you guys my slides.
That's right. Yep. And that's why I'm just asking to check in to see if you were prepared to do it or if you want us to do it.
No, go ahead. If you can pull it up, it's going to probably go a little faster since I just sent it to you. I have to go back and search for it.
Not a problem. My tech assistant, Marty, will get that on for us.
I am
Okay.
working on it.
Yeah. So while we have a minute to wait, has everyone been outside to enjoy the day? My computer here says that it's almost 60. And when I stepped out earlier, it felt really nice. I'm going to hope everybody's like, yes, I have. Yep. Jasmine, I see your heart. Yeah. We got to really appreciate these days. They're going to be gone soon.
For whatever reason, it's taking a long time to load, so bear with me.
Okay. Yeah. I'm from the Washoe Housing Alliance, and anyway, the reason I was late for this meeting, we have a really exciting webinar coming up on December 8th. I'm going to plug it today since I have all these folks here. It's December 8th at 10 o'clock. We have a burnout. It's burnout and self-care with a psychotherapist, Bonnie Skinner. So look out for the details about that. It's going to be, we were just reviewing with her the presentation, so it's going to be a really great presentation. I think it's really going to be relevant to kind of what's happening and what's been happening in the field, and just, you know, a lot of changes going on. And so I think it's going to be a really exciting presentation, and it's going to be interactive. We'll be able to interact with her as well, ask questions. So stay tuned to that. I can go ahead and just at least start talking about the program that we have. So the Rising Hope for Housing program is it came about through a grant from the city of Ann Arbor. It is the marijuana tax monies that they've been collecting and using for some really kind of sometimes new programs, but also supporting some other programs. But this is a new program. The funding went to Ann Arbor Housing Commission. And then Ann Arbor Housing Commission contracted, it's $400,000. So Ann Arbor Housing Commission contracted with, 5 agencies, the WHA to facilitate this project. A Brighter Way, which is if you're not familiar with A Brighter Way, they are a group of folks who were incarcerated and now do some mentoring and supports in the community, helping people to coming back from prison or from jail, re-enter into the community and be successful in the community. So they support that and folks that are coming back into the community. SOS Community Services is another partner. And I think they do housing services, but they also do other things, and they are part of this grant as well. Shelter Association of Washtenaw County, or the Delanis Center, and the last partner is Catholic Social Services. Really, the big thing, the kind of the criteria for this program, there's just 2 criteria. It's pretty basic. Is the person does have to have his housing choice voucher, and that has to be a tenant-based voucher, so not a project-based voucher, because most project-based vouchers already have some case management supports and services in place for project-based vouchers. So this is for tenant-based vouchers. And someone on the voucher, not necessarily like the head of household, but somebody in that household has to have had some contact with the carceral system. So the justice system. So jail or prison, maybe on probation or parole. We've had a lot of questions about that as well. I think she finally got this. Okay.
Not quite right, but
It's okay. I think we can, if you click this arrow right down here in the right-hand corner and expand that, that'll open it up.
thank you.
There you go. All right. And then I don't know if I can, so here's a little bit of more information. It started July 1st. It's taken us a little bit of time to kind of get the word out, but also put some things in place and kind of policies, procedures, sharing agreements between the organizations that are working together. And it will go until June 30th of 2024. And like I said, households who have a housing choice voucher and justice impacted, and it really is to not just avoid eviction and improve housing stability and self-sufficiency, but it's also providing, in some cases, ongoing case management services and supports. I'm thinking. Here are the different partners of this project. As I had mentioned before, obviously the money came from the city of Ann Arbor, went to the Ann Arbor Housing Commission, and then these are the other partners involved. This is just some information about Ann Arbor Housing Commission. That's their mission. I'm not going to read through this. I will provide, you guys will get the slides, so I don't need to read through this information. Washtenaw Housing Alliance. And I think a lot of you are probably member organizations of the Washtenaw Housing Alliance. And that is our mission as well. And this is a brighter way. So these are formerly incarcerated individuals living here in Washtenaw County, and they're looking to build stable and successful lives for those folks who are coming back either from prison or jail into the community. The idea is, their goal is to reduce recidivism and also to increase public safety at the same time. Catholic Social Services, these are the services and the supports that Catholic Social Services provides through this grant. And I can talk a little bit more about that as well as we kind of go through. I'm just going to go through here a little quicker. Every time I switch the slides, it keeps muting me, so I'm sorry. I'm going to go. I don't think I can go back. So these are the different services that they're providing. SOS, community services. These are the services that they're providing. Talked about the funding, where the monies came from already. I'm just gonna. All right, so this is really the key here is who's eligible for this program. So it, like I said, tenant-based vouchers, someone in the household has to have had some sort of experience with the justice system. And sometimes when we talk to folks, they, it may have been something that even occurred 10 or 15 years ago, but it could still be impacting their lives as they kind of move forward with different things in their lives. A lot of times, what happens is when somebody does have a criminal background, that can impact their housing, and even just getting into housing can be a challenge. So the 4 agencies that are working with these folks are working to help them to get into housing, to stay in housing, and to address any challenges and issues that may come up as a result of maybe their own trauma and experiences, as well as just needing maybe some additional supports in order to remain stable in their household. We can also provide like mediation. So let's just say something happens, this group of folks can come in and provide some supportive services, some case management services to help to stabilize the situation. And again, the goal to keep them housed. So, they don't lose their housing, because we also know how challenging and difficult it is once somebody loses their housing to get back into housing. Also, the cost of that. We also don't want folks to lose their vouchers as well. So making sure that they have that support so they don't lose that vouchers. And sometimes it's something as, we may think it's something as simple as, they get their packet, their certification packet next year, and they're struggling maybe to fill it out, or they're not sure what to do, or maybe there were some changes in their household and they're just, not clear about what they need to do. That's something that this group of agencies can help them with and navigate through those different systems as well. I'm trying to forward. This is not forwarding. I don't know what's. Okay, thanks. Somebody forwarded it. So what happens is if almost anybody can refer, and if there's any questions about, is this person eligible? I'm not sure if this person's eligible. The contact is the Washtenaw Housing Alliance to ask about, is this person eligible? What do I do? They can contact us as well. And then we do have a referral form. The referral form is then filled out, and sent to a Brighter Way. A Brighter Way then kind of triages, Washoe Housing Alliance triages as well as a Brighter Way. And then they'll make a determination after we talk to the person maybe a little bit more in depth as to what are the services and supports that they're in need of. One of the things we are getting a lot of, I'm behind in my rent, or I'm in court, I have an eviction coming up. This program can help with that, with eviction prevention, as well as arrears and utility assistance. We have kind of a separate pot of money, which is kind of very, at this time, because there's such a limited amount of funding and funds in the community for eviction prevention. We're seeing quite a number of folks coming in needing those types of services, but we really also want to then also provide like financial counseling, some mentoring, things like that. So one is, that they're able to maintain their housing and not get into that situation again, hopefully. And then also just understand what they need to do so that they maybe don't. And sometimes what we're seeing is maybe they had a change of employment and they didn't, or they lost their employment, or their hours were reduced. Sometimes if they just contact the housing agent and let them know and fill out some paperwork, they can get a reduction in what their portion of the rent is. But again, sometimes these systems are kind of challenging to navigate and negotiate through. And when you're kind of stressed out and you have a lot of things going on in your life, that sometimes can be quite challenging. But again, this is a program that can go to the next slide. This is just, again, kind of the steps that I just walked you through as far as they can do a self-referral and internal referral. So we even do within these 5 agencies, we do internal referrals as well. Sometimes people will come into those agencies for other services and supports, and then realize that they would be eligible for this program. So we're seeing that. So this is just a kind of step-by-step approach as to how you can navigate through this system. Go ahead, next slide. And then this is, if you have any questions or you need additional information, you can always reach out to us at the Washoe Housing Alliance or a Brighter Way via email. We're always available to answer any questions, even to do the referral. So if you send somebody to us, we can fill out the referral as well, and make sure that it gets to the right person. This QR code is linked to the referral form as well. So any questions? And it's really helpful when folks ask us questions about this. We've also then been able to kind of tweak our referral form, tweak our process a little bit. And we've gotten some really good questions. We just yesterday did a presentation, and the question was, if somebody, maybe they're working with the prosecuting attorney to drop the charges, would that person be eligible? And the answer is yes, because they are impacted. They're somehow impacted by the carceral system, by the justice system, even though hopefully those charges will be dropped. But the key is that they do have to have a voucher at the same time. So questions are, those kind of questions have been coming up. It's a new program. So, we're kind of learning as we're going as well. And as folks ask us questions about different scenarios, different issues, that kind of also helps us to kind of tweak the program a little bit and get some more information out to folks as well. So any questions? No? Okay. It's a great program. It's I know I'm excited about it. I think it's if you have folks that have vouchers, once they have that voucher in hand, they can also get some assistance leasing up and get assistance with moving cost as well. And then, like I said, also if The other thing, if there's a barrier to them getting into housing with their vouchers, such as maybe they have some monies owed to another landlord, this is also something that we can help with as well. There is a cap of $3,000 on the amounts that we can assist with.
This is great, Sharon. Thank you. All right, just pause for questions anyone's thinking about wanting to put in the chat, or even now you can speak up if you'd like. Okay, and thank you, Sharon, for your patience and the PowerPoint process. That was helpful, but thank you for your patience.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
All right, Marty, can I get the agenda set back up and we'll start going over the Barrier Buster funding update? All right, so here's what we've got. Barrier Busters is looking at our Ypsilanti Township Fund. Those funds are going to be exclusively for our township, Ypsilanti Township residents. They are flexible funds, but we do want to make sure that that we prioritize the housing and utilities for these funds. For the Ypsilanti Township Fund, also to note, going forward, we will have, let me see, what was the number? We'll have 50,000 available monthly until June 2024. So unfortunately, that is only for our township residents, but definitely access those funds. The next, our Ann Arbor, let's see, our City of Ann Arbor funds. We have another funding pot for, yes, Ann Arbor General Fund. That one is for our Ann Arbor City residents only, also for the residents there. And also it's important too, if you want to know, you can go to Map Washtenaw. You can access that map through our website, or I believe it's through the website and through Barrier Busters. And you're going to want to check and make sure the resident is in fact in the area to verify their address. So again, this isn't as big as our township, but 9,000 right now. And that one is, again, we want to prioritize for the utility and housing. Our next is our Ann Arbor water utility assistance. And that one's just a rolling, so that we don't have an exact limit on that one, a balance limit on that one, but definitely, again, important to check the map, make sure they're City of Ann Arbor residents only, and this is for the water utility assistance. In this spot, I'm going to also speak to the low-income household water assistance program, otherwise known as LIWAP. We've had some staffing changes, and Ariana, who has been running that program for the last year, has passed it over to me. So right now, this program has a pause on the applications right now. We're doing some catch up and doing a changeover into a new system. So we've needed to pause that. But in December, keep a lookout for an update through our Barrier Buster listserv. We will have a new link for a new application process. We're hoping in December, if everything goes well. But we do have funds still available for that program, and that is for most of the areas of Washtenaw County. It's not completely countywide, but a lot of the areas. You can also access some of the information for LIWAP through our website. And again, in December, when we kind of reinitiate the application process, we'll include all that information so you can access it and let your participants know if they need help with their water assistance. So that program will end in March of 2024. So it's only a few months. Going down to our Washtenaw County General Fund, we will have that will begin monthly starting in January, and we'll be allocating $15,000 a month for the duration of 2024. Unless I know otherwise, this is what we're projecting right now. That might change. Our Pittsfield Township Fund, the amount is to be determined, but we are hoping to have funds available in January 2024. So that was kind of a lot. Are there any questions that I can answer? Well, I can try to answer for our Barrier Buster funding pots right now.
Stacy, this is Savannah. I'm wondering if you can clarify how long somebody has to wait for assistance with the water assistance program, the low income one.
The how long they have to wait? Yeah, well, I'd like to say no wait at all, but we had some hangups transitioning staffing and transitioning the amount of staff hours to keep the program very up to date. And so we've had a little bit of, there was a change in that. And so I'm doing my best right now to catch everyone up. So right now we are experiencing a delay up to about 3 to 4 weeks in applications. So if you know, and this goes out to everyone, if you know of somebody, one of your clients who has applied, please reach out to me and let me know, and I will see where they are in the queue, because I am trying to catch up on a lot of applications that are, again, 3 to 4 weeks behind. So Savannah, if you have somebody in mind, please reach out to me and I will see where they're at. And that's why we took this pause, so that we can do this catch up. And
Makes sense. Thank you all.
yeah, and I'm hopeful that once we get caught up, again, hopefully in December, once I get caught up, it should go a lot smoother and certainly not have the delays that we're having right now. Did I see something in the chat? Our Ypsilanti Township Fund still available now for the month of November? I believe so. I do believe that is our current balance right now is 33,000 for right now, November. So if you have, again, it's flexible funding, but we would like to try to prioritize the housing and utilities for this fund. So yes, Sheila, please, if you can access our Encompass requests, please do so on someone's behalf.
This is Drew. I have a question. So do Ypsilanti Township residents or Ann Arbor residents still have to go through Hawk first before they request funding through Barrier Busters?
Yeah, if it's housing, for sure. And thank you for bringing that back up. Yeah, we do. So it is Hawk that's going to take care of they're the point of entry for the housing needs to access the funds.
Thanks.
Yeah, anything else? Okay, I'm not seeing anything more in the chat. All right. Hey, Marty, can I get the slides taken down?
Yes, you can. Maybe.
All right, so I'll go ahead and wrap up the meeting. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Again, always reach out if you have any Barrier Buster questions. It can go to our the DL staff, BB staff email. That's the best way to reach one of us. And I hope everyone has a great holiday coming up, and we'll see you again in December. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.